All right, hey people, how's everybody doing? And to Lourdes Golden, uh, how you doing, darling? Um, anyway, I just first of all, let me get this right off the top here. I apologize if you hear any uh, type of music or rock music, whatever, in the background. I got somebody that's nearby that's playing probably less than preferable music that I usually listen to, but in the background. So I closed my window and everything. So I'm trying to deal with that tonight. But anyway, somebody had asked me, not necessarily on this platform, but in the past, to explain what I talked about last night a little further in detail, which was the so what I'll do is I'll just I'll kind of briefly recap it, and then I'll go through what I didn't go through last night. Okay, so basically, people, what we're supposed to, what the American sovereign people are supposed to be under, not under, but using, which we are currently having the use of, basically and literally stolen from us right now by these Franks and Nazis from the Rhine River Valley in Germany, or up from Egypt. Basically, it's so the way it works, people, is basically your signature, and that is your what is more properly referred to as an autograph. It's a quote-unquote autograph. So every time you give one of those below indicated amounts that is issued, that's of your capital or your pumping blood, your AU, your AU on the periodic chart, which is gold. So salute to you there, Miss Golden, darling. I hope you enjoyed that. But that's the way it works, or at least the way it's supposed to work. But you pay for everything with your signature, just like you're putting it on your hotel room, like I said last night. Dollar for dollar, that's HJR 192 and Public Law 7310 of 1933. HJR stands for House Joint Resolution, or House Resolution 192, 1933. Now, they came up with another intentional HJR 192 in 1973, which dealt with something else. It was by Senator Sparky Matsunaga or something. That's not, they did that just to kind of camouflage what I'm telling you now. So basically what that is constant purchasing power. So they split you at your birth. They have split fever, people. They like to split you and then split those halves and then split those quarters and then split those eighths and all that stuff. So that's what they like to do, so you'll never find your way back home. That's what they do. They, meaning the Franks, Nazis, gypsies and all that stuff. So it's called constant purchasing power. Now, in 1933, when they did all this, apparently, they saw it was too good of a deal to pass up for them to just come in and not steal it. So they apparently came in and stole our use of our free, I do mean free, trade, which is supposed to go to the American sovereign people. If you were born here, or naturalized here, or what have you. And it's different for, different rungs, but if you were born here, and not just to be born here, I mean, your parents come and just be born here, for that purpose. I mean, if you were born here and have been born and raised here ever since, yes, that is your sovereign privilege. It is called constant purchasing power accounting. So either CPP or CPPA. And you can look that up in Wikipedia. It'll tell you. And that is your remedy, people. It's not a big, thick manual book called Real Remedy. It's not that. Your remedy is basically constant purchasing power versus, and they have different, that's how the IRS identifies it. Something called, if you're on the selective service list or not. That means one of them. That doesn't mean something with the military. That means one of them. Their selective service list. And if you look it up in Wikipedia, you'll see it under there. It's like other characteristics of it or what have you. It's kind of more toward the bottom, obviously. But it'll tell you what the actual remedy is, and it's the fact that this constant purchasing power accounting, which is what all the American sovereign people are born with and supposed to have, and not have their certificate of live birth split at their birth. In other words, a robbing at the cradle. They would find that all they have to do is sign for certain things with their signature. That's all. Houses, cars, little bitty wants, everything. The only really rule of all of that is so that you're not hoarding and trying to take over the country with what you hoarded. Exactly what these idiots are doing. Anyway, the remedy is that constant purchasing power is good. It means it applies your capital first. I told you last night about the split dollar arrangement. It means they split the dollar and somebody else, you're supposed to apply the credit first, then the debit. That's a whole capital natural man or woman. And that's our privilege. That's the American sovereign privilege. Okay? It's supposed to apply the credit first, then the debit. So if you can see how that works, you'll see you can get just about anything. That is your remedy. And it's good through, now get this now, it's good through inflation, hyperinflation, or deflation. It never changes. They came in and found that and saw that, hey, we want this for ourselves and all the minions that are going to help us, which we'll call our civilian army or civilian soldiers or paramilitary soldiers, they call them. Okay, so that's how that works. And it's good through all of those three I just listed off there. It doesn't matter. Now, what they did is they switched it over all the American sovereign people. That's why they have to keep a selective service list of their own to make sure only they get it. And, you know, the quasi-intelligence agencies, and, you know, that's where they all nest. That's, you know, we found this, you know, blank fake checkbook, and we can now, you know, distribute this as we want. No, they can't. See, and just like I told you last night, you know, the U.S. dollar, and I hate to say it, you know, but the U.S. dollar is a fake. It's a phony. It's a fallacy. I mean, it even says that also in Wikipedia. You just have to look it up, or Britannica, or the dictionary. You know, it'll say it right there. It's a fake and a counterfeit to the American capital, which is your signing privileges. And you know what you have inside you. That's why they always put vampires to use and all that stuff to suck your blood, your AU, your gold. You know, and that's not what is supposed to be happening. But that's how much they hate you. All right. So when in 1933, apparently is when all this happened. When they came in, they switched everybody, all the American sovereign people, over to something called Historical Cost Accounting, or HCA. that means you're working off your sweat labor, and you only get the debit side of things. Any bank that's available today that if you're not on their selective service list, well, they only offer you a new account, but it's an accounts payable side of the account, while all the rest of theirs minions just wait and come in, and their account level has gone up somehow. That's what we deposit. All right, that is not cool, and that is not kosher with me or any of the American sovereign people. I'm going to say, I'll speak for, but I can just imagine they won't be cool with that either. Okay, and that's how that works. So all of our, and the IRS knows this. They'll ask you on the phone, what is your accounting period of operation? Meaning, does it end in December, or does it end in September, or does it end whatever? Well, usually it's not the calendar year, it's the other one. And that's when they know that you know about your estate. If you're not on the selective service list, well, guess what happens? They deploy a blocking team on you, like they did myself, and they try to block you from utilizing your estate. Now, here's the way the UTC works, which is the Uniform Trust Code. If you make a claim or use your estate for a in part or whole liquidation, that means you've touched it. And if you've touched it, it means you're alive, and because they have you listed as lost at sea since 1666. And that would be all the way to London, City of London. Those who, if you know, you know. I call them conspiracy cons, piracy factists. That's what I call them. Okay, if you know, you know about 1666. But they list you as lost at sea because they said so. I don't think so. But if you make a claim at your estate, they'll know you're alive, that you've touched it, that you're alive. Okay, not like, that everybody's certificate of live birth, this is where this comes in, doesn't say otherwise, right? So that's how all that works, people. So we are supposed to be on constant purchasing power, accounting, and anybody else is supposed to be on, if they really want, because they call it historical, right? They're all historical artists. That's what they call themselves, historical artists. And people, there's also an individual, okay? And I kid you not, you can look this up. And since I found the whole thing, they have minimized this very much so. There is also a person, a character, whatever he was, that taught them all of this, or sprouted all of it. His name is Jan 6. And I shit you not, people, excuse my language, but it's Jan, last name Six. Now, that's not his real name, I can assume, but if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. All right, so, and they said, making, history, because if you're in history, you're not current, right? You're not in the now, and you're not, so nobody should be able to touch us. That's not true, because it falls under fraud. And just in case anybody, people, tries to tell you, yeah, but that's too late, it's the statute of limitations. Well, there is one crime under Title 18, which are only statutes, which they're not laws, but it is in there, and it does say so, and that's what the judges are supposed to follow. It's Title 18 USC. There is one statute in there that lists fraud that has no statute of limitations. That's why they're so petrified of getting caught over that. Okay, now so that's the way that works. So it's constant purchasing power, accounting, which all the sovereigns, American sovereign people already have. And they've been fooled. It's been kept from you since birth You are the real kings and queens. You are the real American royalty. It is not these idiots who try to make believe that they can make decisions in, I'm assuming, whichever house it is. And if you saw my last content, not the Golden Series, but sorry, darling, but the actual, Q clearance and all that stuff, you'll see that it ends up in the House of Representatives. All right, that's HOR. And if you want to say House of Representatives, U.S., well, you get, I hate to say it, but you get Horus, and that's Egyptian. So, no big deal. But even to the real Egyptian people, they are AI. They're, well, over here we call them American impersonators, but over there they'd call them, I guess, EI, which would be Egyptian impersonators, or whatever country you're from. But that's how that works. Okay, so it is my, well, let's just say I have high confidence in our current chief executive officer. That's your business side. That's who's supposed to work for us. And we receive our dividends 1 to 4 times a year. And that is President Donald J. Trump. And I have high confidence in him and his staff and everybody. That is simply just supposed to be conducting business for us, people. That's all. And we are the actual principal residents or presidents that exist in this country, or that live in this country. We are live beings. Okay? The United States, parentheses, of being, close parentheses, of America, or for America. That's how that works. Okay? And just to close it out here on this blocking team, at least in my experience, when I claimed my state, and I claimed it twice through the IRS people, first time there's no response. Well, UTC says there's no response, you win the game, and you're owed everything under that supremacy clause in Article 6, Clause 2 of the United States Constitution. Those are called something different as well, but that's what we have to go by. That's what we're going by. And you're owed everything that you claimed. All right? And so anyway, but in my experience, they, especially the second time, because I did it with GSA forms. That's another big one that they have or did have taken over with GSA forms. And second time I did it with so there was no response. That means they owed me that much, and that I'm not going to go into how much that was. But the second time it was done with the IRS forms per their recommendation. I did so, and then they, very next day after I had confirmed they'd received it, I got a fake IRS call with a threatening email and another threatening something, but it was all fake, people. I mean, if you'll see, they got, stop number whatever. That means a stop in between. That means it's not directly received. And apparently they take all of those packets that they receive for the estates, E-states, your enterprise states, and they're never seen again. That doesn't sound like somebody who's working for ourselves and who wants to keep it a secret and then use our resource spending privileges in the process. So those are called imposters, people. Imposters. American imposters. All right, so now what does the blocking team do? Well, they move in, hopefully in your same building, your same dwelling, your same or near you, and then they just block everything you try to do with your estate. They steal your mail, they stop your mail, they intercept your mail. All of that stuff, and they harass you 24/7 as they watch you. And that's what I've been going through for 7 years now, people, at least with this blocking team. This blocking team. It is around the clock, it is daily, and people, just one last thing. One of my daily tasks, because they, the crew leader is a female. Her name is Maylene Taylor Sutera. Her assistant, his name is Larry, doesn't want to give his last name. Tries to say it's Connor because he is a conner, right? A conner. They're not artists, so I just call them conners. Well, he was right on that, but not right about that. So, but he did admit he's a convicted felon, so, that shouldn't be too hard. But they constantly shut down your phones, so where you have to change batteries and change wirings and all of that stuff. They constantly make you have to close down apps. So that's what most of my day has consisted of, people, is re-upping my phones, re-upping my apps, or reinstalling apps if it's nasty. The way they do it, here's how they do it. They will flash image, if you know how about computers, they will flash image your system image on your computer desktop or your cell phone image or your tablet image. And what they do is they download yours without you knowing it. Google assists them in doing this, people. I just got numerous charges on my Direct Express card, or credit card, because or debit card, I guess they call it. But because of Google charges, and they don't say what they're for. And that's what I'm going through now. All right, but have been, and they will hijack one of your credit bureau companies, and so that they can make daily inquiries and use it, and you can't. This is what I've been going through for 7 years. But they, it's all day re-upping apps, re-turning on back phones, and they went for a while where they would shut down the phone completely, so that you would have to get a new phone and a new number and all that stuff. And you have to go change all your numbers. And all. That's been pretty much what I've been going through for the past 7 years. And it is not fun. And these idiots are protected by local police by simply one entry put into the computer system, like a do not detain or, special agents for government or whatever. That's not our government, people. That is a hijacked, unfriendly government to ourselves. We actually are the living law in this country. We are the living... Well, yeah, we're just the living law and order in this country. That's what we are, and it's not the other way around. All right, so I just wanted to kind of give you a little taste of what this blocking team does, and they try to keep your estate untouched so they can go claim it later as it's abandoned. It's abandoned. It's abandoned. But it's not. And people right now, if everybody knew what they were owed, some of them might faint because they are literally owed unbelievable digits. Unbelievable digits. All right, so that is what all of you have, at least according to my findings and according to what I've seen recently. Let's just say I have the faith, and I have the, especially the faith with our actual real boys and girls in uniform, and I wish them only the best. And but that's a little further in depth of what I was started to explain last night. And I hope that, those who kind of had asked me recently, to kind of explain this a little further in detail, will get this and kind of, comprehend it a little bit more. So everybody, I just want each and every one of you to know I love you so very much. Golden, darling, I say it every night. You know how I feel about you. I love you so much, and you are the cutest, sweetest thing, and I wish you only the best. My gosh, if words could only tell. But anyhow, people, please take care of yourselves. Golden, you darling as well. God bless you. I love you, and please take care, okay? And please stay safe, all right? God bless everybody. Hope the future treats you well. I'll talk to you next time, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.